I'm Justin Tilley. I'm a manager within Natural England's local delivery team in West Anglia. Natural England are the government's natural environment advisors. So we're responsible for trying to achieve the recovery of nature, make sure that everybody has access to green spaces that are nature rich, and also through thinking about how to recover nature in everybody's lives.
My name's Holly Bilcock and I'm the Senior Reserves Manager for the North Chilterns NNR group. So I manage Barton Hills National Nature Reserve, Knocking Hoe National Nature Reserve, and now also the new land on Hexton Hills. I worked at Barton, Knocking Hoe and in this sort of landscape before I started managing the reserves, and it struck me straight away just how special and unique this area is. The hills and the valleys are just so dramatic. It looks like nowhere else in the sort of Chilterns that I've seen anyway.
I was brought up in this sort of environment around here. My dad used to manage the nature reserves locally, and so yeah, spent a lot of time here when I was a kid. I think it's just such an amazing area. I mean, you can see today, just how beautiful it is around here, and I think take that for granted a lot. I certainly did growing up, and it's really as I sort of, as I matured as an adult and meet other people and being able to sort of bring them and introduce them to this sort of environment is wonderful, isn't it?
A lot of this land has been sort of no access apart from a footpath that runs through it, and the main part of the estate's been used as a shooting estate. It is special. I mean, scenically it's really inspirational. It's lovely. It's a lot of hidden valleys. It's intricate. You can find a bit of place to be peace and quiet up on these hills, and it really is easy on the eye, and I think that's what initially attracts people to it. Its landscape is so inspiring. You get chalk grassland, which is a fabulous habitat for wildlife. It's a landscape where there's burial mounds. There's the ancient track, the Icknield Way, runs very close to the southern end of this bit of land, and there is one of the largest hill forts in the Chilterns. So it's a very important historical landscape as well as a wildlife landscape now.
I mean, going back years now, we were thinking when we're drawing lines on maps and thinking, wouldn't it be lovely if ... This was always seen as being a real place which would be incredible to have some influence over. We never dreamed of actually owning it.
With Natural England, I've always managed Barton Hills and I've managed Knocking Hoe. Next door we've had Hexton. And in between these reserves has been this one massive piece of land that's always been private, no one's been allowed on, and it's always been that missing link between our sites. When it came on the market, it was very much that missing jigsaw puzzle to connect this massive strip of nature reserves in the area. So instead of going from these small little islands of important places and nature reserves, it becomes more of a landscape.
The idea of protected sites in isolation, acting as little oases of rich wildlife, it's not enough anymore. We want to do more. We want to see those places connected up. We want to see opportunities for wildlife to move between and adapt to climate as the climate changes, so that there's somewhere for them to move.
One of the sort of mantras in conservation is bigger, which we're going to achieve here, better, so there's more scope for wildlife to move about, and more connected. And this is what this new land's going to do. It connects Hexton Hills nearly right through to Barton Hills, and wildlife can move within that landscape.
We very much want it to be a community-based project and giving people in the local area that opportunity to connect with this land. It's been private for so long, and bringing people that might not necessarily have ever been able to get on here and see its beauty and see its value, giving them the opportunity to connect with it that's never been had before is really exciting.
This is a catalyst for us to work really closely with neighbours, whether that be the conservation charities that we've got good relationships with, whether it's the neighbouring landowners that we've also building those relationships with and do really great things. We want this to be a two-way conversation. We want people to offer their thoughts about what to do with this place strategically. There's no point with Natural England going and charging ahead and doing our own thing here. we need to get a lot of buy-in, and we need people to feel that they've got some ownership over this area, whether that be somebody who lives nearby, whether it be a neighbouring land manager that may have concerns about where, you know, a radical change taking place here. We want to talk to them, we want to get their views, we want to build that into our plans.
My hopes and what I'd like to see over the next sort of decades of this restoration project would just be, you know, a sea of chalk grassland, mixed scrub, good quality woodland, just rolling over the landscape instead of it being segregated, just this continuation of, you know, grassland bursting with flowers, scrub with birds and small mammals dotting in and out of it, and also these amazing woodlands of, you know, these really nice native trees that have been lost in this landscape a little bit and just need that helping hand to get back.
This bit of environment is now here, it's going to be protected for the future, and you know, my kids are going to be able to enjoy this sort of almost like seamless tract of land from Hexton all the way to Barton. I mean, what an amazing thing for them.
The end goal is to see nature thriving here, and how we get there is going to be a real partnership effort.